Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another quick tutorial. I want to create another character today. I had some time and figured, why the hell not? I wanted to go with a rogue. A rogue is a very simple class. It is the main damage dealing class in Everquest. It easily produces the highest amount of DPS as long as they are properly equipped and know their role. And the role of a rogue is really fairly simple. So as you can see, I've clicked create a new character, and most people can actually be a rogue, kind of like warriors did in the last video, but not quite as many. So like barbarians, dwarves, gnomes, half elves, halflings, what else? Good variety. But in my opinion, there are really two or three classes to choose from depending on what you want to do with your rogue. If you want the best starting stats and easiest way to achieve max strength, which will give you your max damage possible, that's going to be a barbarian. As you can see, you start with 103 strength, plus you can allocate your ability points to strength to even compensate it higher. Let's actually click the right class though. Boom, there you go. Okay. The other option that I like is either a dwarf, which is stout and fun, and they barrel roll when you jump, and who the hell doesn't love that? Click on Rogue here, you can see it starts with 90 strength, and we can allocate 30 points. So there's a compensation that you can do with that. The other idea would be a halfling. The only reason I say halfling is because they get an experience modifier. They only require 10% less experience, I believe is what it is, than normal classes. So if you're going through the high level grinds, it makes it just slightly less painful. But as you can see, the detriment to that is you get a lot less strength to start with, so you are going to be compensated by more items. The reason I say that classes are kind of just a reason of opinion is because there are also plenty of in-game items which can actually change your race appearance. Like there's a Dark Elf mask that's really easy to obtain, and there's an Erudite and an Ixar, and I think even another one, I'm forgetting it. I can't remember. But regardless, so if you like being short but need to be taller, you can just click a mask if you happen to have it, and poof, you can change your abilities. Oh, night vision as well for a barbarian. Actually, they have zero night vision, so getting a dark elf mask early on is rather helpful because then you can wander around at night and don't have to worry about it. So in this case, let's just roll right into the creation. I'm going to dump all my points right into strength because, again, higher the strength, the harder I hit. So 128 is my cap. I'm going to dump the last 5 into stamina because those are the two primary attributes for this class. Agility and dexterity, if you have proccing weapons, dexterity can matter a little bit. Agility is for, avoiding damage and other little modifiers, but primarily for just hitting and doing damage. Strength is where it's at. So, next, grab yourself a name. Jadribof. All right, sure, why not? And then a deity again. Most deities just tend to get you in trouble. So King of Things is Bristlebane, I believe. Yep, and the Six Hammers is the Tribunal. If you want to mess around with deity, you can, but for simplicity's sake and for not getting in trouble, I just stay agnostic. So your starting city is Hallis. I actually really like Hallis for a starting city. It's very easy to navigate. It's small. It's quick to get to the newbie area, so you can kind of get killing. But the newbie area itself has some troubles, which we might come across. We'll see here in a sec. Okay, this junk UI. Let's go back just like my other video and load skin to that so that we can get something that is much more eye appealing and doesn't drive me bananas. So I'm going to get rid of my extraction bars, move this here, group window there, which will be irrelevant for this video, target bar there, and buff window up here. There is a barred spell window, but we're just going to close that out because I don't think it's even enabled until the next expansion. Get rid of the silly find key because if you recall in my last one, one of the quick things that I had done was remap my sense heading key to my A key so that it's a skill that passively goes up versus having to constantly remember to click it. With that, your starting point, as you can see, right next to the Priest of Discord, and in this building is the Rogue Guild, and right out there is the way to exit to your newbie zone. But as always, I like to do the beginning quest just because it's fun. Who cares? And then I need to go find Dun McDowell. So Dun McDowell is through this little tavern here, which also has a banker and vendors. Again, right off the spawn point, which I cannot stress enough that it just makes the game a little bit easier starting off. And here's Mr. Dun McDowell. So I can click on him, hail him. He doesn't care about me. 'Take my note, give him my note, give him my note. 'Take my note, give him my note, 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 'Take my note, give him my note Boom, starting quest, got my tunic, equip my dagger, and we can go outside. But what I realized I missed on my last video was if you right-click on your GMs, you can actually have a skill window, and this training window is actually really important. I totally missed out on the last one. With it, you can go through your skills that your classes have. My last video with the warrior, things more or less just come with the class. There's like dodge, and then double attack, and dual wield, and things like that is unlocked at different levels. Well, the way it works is once you achieve that level, you can click on it, and you'll have practice points, and you can at least train the basics of it. So I like to dump it just in a quick variety of things. For instance, bind wound, I do sense heading, and I think in this case, I'll just put the rest in piercing because it's my basic beginning weapon. But for a rogue specifically, the fun extra things you get is pick lock, which is very important later in dungeons because there are doors that are locked, and I believe a rogue and a bard are the only two classes that can open the door safely, or open the door at all at a later point in the game. The other one is going to be pickpocket, which is just fun. You can go around to guards and whatnot and steal cash and book it, or if you're lucky enough fighting mobs, you can steal from them, and you can get yourself just a little extra coin that way. But the primary way you actually are dealing damage is with this skill up here called backstab. Backstab, if you're standing behind the mob and backstab them, it does a significant amount of more damage. If you're not standing behind them, so if you're actually tanking or in front of the mob and it's just an extra hit, and more damage the better. Who can say no to more damage? And I think that's really it as far as what this class does. Oh, last one, sneak and hide. Where is that? There we are. So we got sneak, which comes with, boom. So failed because I'm not walking any slower. But the combination of sneak hide is essentially a free invisibility. You can walk around and kind of scout other areas. And with that, you can see, for group benefits of what mobs are up or what's hanging around the corner or how to pull certain mobs if they're wandering around the zone. So it's really beneficial just for this class and its utility that it provides to group. Oh man. So what I'm doing now is I'm just wandering out to the main zone area so we can start just killing a couple mobs and get this tutorial under wraps because it's already longer than I thought it needed to be. As you can see, to get out of Hellas, you actually should take the little floaty boat across this little pond, but it is the slowest moving thing in the world because I have 0 swim and I'm just staying right along with it practically. So instead of having to waste another 2 minutes, I'm just going to swim the damn thing and we'll hop outside and go see the noob zone. So as I mentioned earlier in this video for noob zones, permafrost is the area for this one. The other one I actually really like if you're creating a rogue is the dwarf class. So outside of Kaladim is Butcherblock Mountains, and with that, right outside the gate, there are just a ton of level 1 and 2 mobs. And just as far as getting those first couple of levels, I find it significantly easier. For this, you have to do a little bit of wandering, and there are a couple of mobs that will one-shot you that are wandering, like a Vengeful Lyricist, I believe is one of the skeletons that's wandering around. Hey, I got a swimming point out of that too. Thumbs up. Oh, come on, don't fail me now. Thank you. Okay, so now that we're outside, again, the reason I like Hallis, there are vendors all over the place. So as you collect your early on wares, you can just come back and sell. The guards aren't too helpful because the closest mobs aren't all that close to the front of the zone. So you got to wander out here to the first junction and bank left. So as soon as we get there, I will show you that. But in the meantime, while we wander there, am I missing anything? Went over racial stats to begin with. Like I said, personally, I like the Barbarian just because more strength to begin with, but if you're looking for a quicker level, a Halfling's always a good way to go. Or if you just want to be fun and short, Dwarf is a great way to go, plus it has easier leveling. There's a Polar Bear Club, level 2, but this is the first major junction. And so we're just going to go left here. Woolly Spiders, level 2, White Wolf, level 2, and if you watch my other video, the reason I know that is because here, when I tab to them, it turns yellow. And that yellow indication means it's at least a higher level than I am, but at level 1, I know it's only there. Ooh. Skeleton. Okay, good. It's just a decaying skeleton. So let's just go to this whelp here real quick, and we'll beat him up. Other things I went over, backstab, which doesn't unlock yet. Sneak hide, which I have sneak but no hide, so I haven't unlocked that yet. And then like lockpick and pickpocketing, which I went over. So I really think that's it. So we're going to kill this guy here. We'll get our, 8% experience, whatever the heck it is, and we'll call it a day. Hey, alright, 10%, right on the dot. So, sadly no loot, but a little bit of cash. Ow. And we're totally going to end this video on a death, aren't we? I know we are. This wolf's probably going to, yep, whoop my butt. So, anyways, hope you guys have fun. I always do. Like I said before, I always enjoy the sound of my own voice. And unconscious, oh, there we go. Alright, guys, I hope you had fun. I know I did. I will talk to everybody soon when I do another introductory video.